So today I wanted to share with you how I repurpose bottles and jars in my witchcraft routine so that they don't get wasted and I have plenty of things to put my potions in. Also today we are going to be making a money oil, we are going to be making a migraine relief oil, and we will also be making a Glamour Magic Rose Goddess Mist. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new, welcome to the family. My name is Dina. I am so happy to have you guys here. I have been feeling so extremely called to make potions lately. I don't know why, but the water element has been calling me and it's just been beautiful. I've been really enjoying it and I wanted to share that with you guys. So first of all, I want to mention that I haven't actually really had to buy any jars or bottles or anything yet for my witchcraft practice at all for potions. Everything has been reused, which is great because one, it's less wasteful, and two, it saves you money. Now removing labels is actually really easy. Not just labels, but the writing. If you ever see, inked writing on skincare bottles, jars, things like that, you can remove it. And it just involves adding a little bit of vinegar to a bowl or a cup, followed by some hot water and some dish soap. I mix all that together and then I like to put my jar or my bottle, whatever I want to remove the label from, into this cup or bowl. Now depending on how well it's on there, it could take, a few days up to a week or a week and a half. It really depends on what you're working with, but I like to let it soak, and then every so often I'll take a scrubby brush and just scrub wherever the label is, wherever the text is, to remove that. Once that's finally removed, you have this perfectly usable bottle or jar for whatever you want to make, whether it is an oil blend, whether it is a spray, whether it is a salve or some other tincture or flower essence. There's so many different potions that you can make out there. So the first one is a money drawing oil. And whenever you make an oil blend, you're gonna need some sort of base oil to work with. Now there's so many different base oils that you can choose from. For me, I decided to use grape oil, but use whatever you have available to you. Use whatever you feel called to use. The majority of the oil is going to be the grapeseed oil. That is our base. But I also decided to include cinnamon oil and orange oil. Now you want your essential oils to add up to around 8 drops. So if you're using 2, that's about 4 drops each. But obviously feel it out, what feels good to you. If you want to use less than that, that's okay. Maybe if you want to use more, you can use a little bit more, but you also want to be careful because if you use too much of an essential oil, it can be irritating to the skin. So that is why we dilute it. In the money drawing oil, I also decided adding green aventurine crystal chips. Now you don't have to use crystals if you don't have them available to you. Not everyone has crystal chips in their collection. I got these ones off of Etsy, but use whatever you want. If you don't have crystals, that's okay too. You're gonna be charging it with your intention. But I definitely love working with crystals. Green aventurine is a very prosperous, money drawing crystal. I also decided to add some dried mint. Mint is also a very good money drawing ingredient, but this mint is extra special because it is from our plant in our backyard, which was originally created from part of the plant that my grandmother grew in her home. So it is very sentimental in that way, and it's very powerful in that way. So I definitely wanted to include that in this recipe. And there you have it. You have your money drawing oil. You can wear it wherever you want. I would suggest bringing it around with you, keeping it in a purse or a bag or something like that, so that you're using it throughout the day to draw that money in, attract, and use it with the intention. Use it with the intention that you are going to bring in more money. Maybe use it before you go to work. Maybe use it before you apply to a job. Next, I'd like to share with you a migraine relief oil that I created. Now this is something that you can use like on the back of your neck or anywhere you feel that migraine heavily. This is specifically for the headache, but also the anxiety that comes from having migraines, because you get stressed. When you're feeling that bad, you get anxious and worked up about it, at least for me, because I get some pretty severe migraines. So for this migraine relief oil, you're gonna need a base oil. Again, I am also using grapeseed oil for this one. You will need some peppermint oil. Peppermint is definitely one of the main ingredients for headaches, so it's definitely gonna be in this one. You'll need some lavender oil. Lavender is really good for relaxing. And also fresh dried rosemary was something I decided to include. This is also from my garden that I dried myself. Rosemary, like lavender, has a very similar effect on the nervous system. It's really good for relaxing the nervous system, and we definitely want to do that so that we can really ease the stress of the migraine. Finally, I added 2 different crystals into this blend. One is lapis lazuli. As long as I've been studying crystals, lapis lazuli has always kind of been that headache crystal. At least that's what I know it as. Lapis lazuli is supposed to ease the headaches, but also is supposed to rebalance things. So I wanted to include it into this blend. I also included moonstone. Now, if you don't feel connected to this, you don't have to do this, but moonstone's very much connected to PMS and our cycles, that kind of thing. And it's really good for hormonal headaches. So honestly, a lot of the time my migraines are hormonal. It's not always the case though. Often my migraines are triggered by weather. So when it starts to rain, I get migraines. But with that being said, there's like cycles in weather. There's cycles outside, like nature has its cycles. So maybe becoming more in tune and rebalancing and becoming more connected and understanding of these cycles through the use of moonstone could be also effective that way. Now the final potion, I decided to do a Glamour Magic potion. Now this is a rose goddess mist. I'm like, I want a mist that makes me feel like a goddess. But if you are male, if you're non-binary, like name it whatever you feel called to name it. It doesn't have to be that. It's not just for women because I said goddess. You can call it whatever you want. But the point of this spray is for you to feel elevated levels of confidence, for you to feel beautiful and empowered, just really embodying that energy. Now this is something that you are going to use on your face. So test for levels of like what works for you. Everyone's gonna have different sensitivities. Also, whenever you're using any sort of oils, anything that you're putting on your skin, do a little spot test. Try it on your wrist, a little tiny bit on your wrist first, because your wrist is actually really sensitive. It's the closest to your face. This is gonna give you a good idea if you're gonna react or not. But basically this is gonna be kind of like a rose water mist. So for this spray, I used witch hazel. I used some water to dilute it. Now, I just had a really tiny bottle for this. I already had used my larger bottle for something else. Obviously, your proportions are going to depend on how big your bottle is. So yeah, we have witch hazel, we have water, and then we also have rose essential oil. That is our main fragrant active ingredient. Rose is definitely used a lot for glamour magic, love magic, self-love magic, that kind of thing. And then I also decided to put some rosebuds in there. Obviously it's a very small bottle, so not a lot, but I really wanted to emphasize that rose energy. I just want to give you a little bit about Glamour Magic, just so you understand it more. So Glamour Magic doesn't physically change how you look. And I think some people get a little bit confused when they learn about witchcraft, and they think that if they use Glamour Magic, they can completely change their appearance. They can make themselves look like a supermodel or have a different something feature about them. They think they can physically change it. That's not how physics works. Now, the purpose of Glamour Magic works more so on yourself within. It works more so on your personality, your self-worth, your self-confidence, that energy. The more that we raise the vibration of that, the more we love ourselves, the more we feel good about ourselves in our own bodies, the more beautiful others perceive us to be. So for example, if maybe you're using this spray to attract a partner, that's not why I used it. I used it rather to just feel good, so I can continue to just go after all the things that I love and attract people that are also on a similar path, so we can kind of collaborate together and just like create beautiful things. The way it works is it makes you appear more confident because you are becoming more confident, you are feeling yourself more, and therefore you are becoming more attractive to other people because people are attracted to positive, high vibrational energy. And also people with that energy attract more opportunities. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it inspired you. You don't have to follow all the recipes exactly. You can swap out different essential oils with something that you have, with something that you feel more drawn to use. But anyways, if you did like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. It definitely helps out my channel. Maybe consider subscribing because I post new videos every single week. And like, if you like witchy things and spirituality and potions and all that stuff, like maybe you should subscribe. Anyways, I hope you guys have a beautiful day or night whenever you're watching this, and I shall see you guys in the next video. Bye bye guys.